Alright guys, welcome to part 9 of my Furioso Dreadnought painting tutorial, and today we're going to be painting the lenses. I've actually already painted all the lenses except for this one here. I've decided to go for a green lens colour on all of the lenses because you know, green's a really nice colour that contrasts with the red of the armour. Except for this one here, which is, I guess, probably something more like a, if it would focus. Come on, camera. There you go. That's in blue. But the rest, like the ones here, and these two down here, are green. So lenses are really easy to do actually once you know the method, and you can just you can make them look as pretty or as simple as you like. It just depends on how much time and how many colours you want to put down. But basically, we're going to be just doing the last lens here, which is the biggest, so it's probably the easiest to see. I've base coated it in dark green from Valero Gain colour, and then the next colour up, we're just going to jump straight up to sick green. And what you have to do, you have to just pick like an imaginary point where you want the sunlight to be. So I picked like the top left. My sun is light, it's going to say come from here for this gem, or from above, but mainly from this angle. And what that means is that you want to then highlight gradually, but keeping the spherical shape of the gem. You want to highlight the opposite edge to where the light's coming. So as you can see on this one, it's going from, if you ignore that white dot at the top, it's going from like a dark green up to the light, which is opposite to where I want the light source to be. Now what that's simulating the light going through the lens or going through the gem, diffracting and bouncing all around inside of it, but having the majority of the light that exits back out the gem happening on the other side, because the light comes in, it might scatter and bounce a bit, but the majority of it's just going to go straight through and come out the other side. But because of that scattering, subsurface scattering, you end up getting this nice big diffuse highlight on the bottom. Whereas and then the white dot at the top, you put that there because that's the specular reflection of the light. So, and that really sets it off. That makes it look like glass and look shiny. So you always do the dot on the side of the gem that's facing light, and then you do the diffuse highlight on the opposite side. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use the sick green to do the first layer of the highlight, and because I'm going to thin this down 1 to 1, it's actually, because it's so thin, you can almost blend with it as well quite easily. But if you just make sure you wipe off most of the paint on the brush, you want it so that when you really touch a kitchen roll, so no paint really comes off it, but there'll be paint in there because it'll be watery. And then you just want to gently edge that bottom section in. That's it. You can be really simple with this. This could be like, you could just do this one colour and then a white dot. So you've got the base, the dark colour, the one highlight, and a dot of white, and that'll look like a gem. But you can also, do it a bit further and blend more and do more colours depending on how big the gem is and how much time you want to put into it. So now that I've done that, I'm going to get some of the original colour, the dark green, and see if I can't make that transition a bit smoother in the centre. The thing is, this dark green paint, I don't know if it's just mine or whether this affects anyone. It's kind of like sort of the same problem yellow has. It's quite transparent, and it takes a couple of coats of it to really make a difference. I found anyway, so I had to do a couple of coats to try and get the nice green colour. as a base. But it actually works kind of in my favour at the moment, because it means I can just gently keep adding onto it until I get the smooth transition I want. So I'm happy with that. So next, after that, like, we're going to highlight or going to lighten the sick green we used, but I'm not going to use white to do it, because I feel like that might be too stark a contrast. So instead, what I'm going to use is a bone white, Valero bone white. There it is. I'm going to mix that one to one with what I had, and that will lighten the green, but still keep it, you know, it's not as harsh as, say, highlighting with yellow, which is usually the best colour to use when highlighting. When trying to lighten green, lighten it with yellow, so it'll make it a really bright, vibrant green. But we don't want to do bright. We just want to, but we don't want to do completely white, because then it's kind of like too faded. And then this time we're going to be, you know, just only do the very edge, like that. Another important thing to remember about gems is to try and make them, if they're all on the same side, the same surface, or essentially if you're just looking at it head on, they should all look the same. They should all have the same highlights in the same places and the same dots. You know, so if you look at those 3 gems in a row, they've all got the highlights in the same places. That's just, you know, it gives it the consistency and makes it so that, you know, your brain thinks, yeah, there must be a light source up here, because, you know, that's what it's saying on there. And the last highlight we do is just a straight white, and then this is literally just on the very edge, just like that, you know, microscopic. And then to add that dot, this is just another bit of white, and just carefully add it and try and get it in the same place as you've got on all the other gems. Bit fiddly. There you go. There we have it. One shiny looking gem. Pretty easy, just change up the colours, and you can do different colours. So with red, I would go with a gory red or red gore, whichever. This one as my base, and then I'd use the bloody red as a highlight, and then I'd mix the bloody red with say a yellow colour to get the extra bright highlight, and maybe just do a straight yellow as a very fine edge, and then white on the corner, for example, for red gems. In fact, I'm actually going to be doing that exact same recipe I've just said there to do the blood drops, because there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blood drops or so that need to have to be coloured in. 7, 8, 9 even, so there's quite a few actually. Blood drops, the same thing. It'll just be a case of, you know, the whole thing will be oh, in fact I'll do it on this one. Whole thing will be red, dark red, and then we want to highlight this bottom bit. So the bottom of this blood drop is essentially exactly the same as one of those lenses. It's still like a circular shape, so you just highlight that edge there, get it, you know, highlighted up, and then you put the white dot. You put the white dot right up here, not quite at the top, just on the left and down. And there you go. That'll make it look like a gem. And there we have it. Lenses, pretty simple, easy to do. It's just a matter of, you know, how many colours you want to use. You know, but because most gems are pretty small, you can actually get away with about 3 colours, and you don't even have to blend it that well, because as soon as you hold it more than 30 centimeters from your face, it's like it all just blends together and it looks shiny. The only other thing you can do, if you which usually enhances it, just put a gloss coat on top as well. Put a nice thick bit of gloss on the lens, and then that way it actually is shiny as well. So you get the shininess of, you know, real reflections plus the one you've painted on. And there we have it. So yeah, if you like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Any comments or advice or questions for me, that'll be much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye bye.